Now it's time for more of Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's talk Hookup. Get ready for more of the best fishing information and the hottest tips on improving your angling skills. Let's Talk Hookup is sponsored in part by Yamaha Outboards. Reliability starts here. Ford, the official truck of Let's Talk Hookup. Shimano Rods and Reels. Fish with the best. Shimano. And by Rancho Leonero, where your wildest Baja dreams come true. And now, Southern California's sports fishing voice, the hosts of Let's Talk Hookup, Pete Gray and Rock Cod Rick Maxa.
Welcome back. Hour number 2. Let's Talk Hookup coming your way. As we said at the beginning of the show, Pete Gray down in the East Cape at Palmas de Cortez for our fall spectacular. Sounds like there is some great fishing going on. Tournament day number 1 is underway as we speak, so we're looking forward to hearing from him tomorrow to find out all the great fishing that goes on down there in the East Cape today. But boy, do we have a great one for you today. Captain Al Clowers, fishing guide extraordinaire, is joining us. We're talking all kinds of fishing, inshore fishing, offshore fishing, lakes and bays and hoop nets and everything in between. Great show going on today. It has been a very busy morning, as you've heard from the show already. If you want to get through, the only line that's still available is our toll-free number. That's 877-792-1090. Again, completely toll-free, 877-792-1090. The only line open right now. If you want to get through on our toll-free, on our local line, there's going to be plenty of opportunities in the second hour. That's 858 area code 457-1090. Again, 858-457-1090. Plenty of shots to get through in the second hour. And as we said at the beginning of the show, we're not only talking fishing and talking all kinds of fun. Captain Al, so generous, is giving away a guided trip for 2, a half-day guided bay trip for 2 people at the end of the show today for one of our lucky callers. So, again, give us a ring, get through, get your questions answered, and hopefully you're going fishing with Captain Al. And as promised, it's time to find out what's biting out there. It's time for the Catchport, which today is sponsored in part by the Sato Crimp and Winder Company, where they only make products that work. If you want to end connection failures, you need to get that Sato Crimp Kit. It's a must-have piece of gear for your trip to help you catch everything from school-sized tuna to record-sized tuna. With all brass crimps and other features, it's better than ever. It's the favorite connection method on the Royal Star, the Royal Polaris, the American Angler, and most of the other top boats. And if you haven't already, you should make it your preferred connection for Spectra D'Amato or to Fluorocarbon. Get it at selected tackle stores like Fisherman's Landing Tackle or at SatoCrimpandWinder.com. We're going to start it off with our FishDope.com reporter of the man, our private boater buddy, Captain Mark Wish of Pacific Edge. Good morning, Mark.
Hey, good morning, Ricky. Good morning, Al.
Morning.
Morning, Mark.
Hey, guys, so we're getting towards that time of year when the season's changing and the fish are starting to think about moving. So there's still some good shots to be had, but do not delay if you want to fish offshore. At Santa Barbara Island, there's still some good signal on that bigger grade yellow, both at the island proper, front side and back side. And a little signal from Osborne Bank also. You know, it's a nice big pinnacle that doesn't get fished much for yellowtails and such, but they definitely live there. Also out there on that bank there's a little bit of marlin still hanging around. There's good water conditions up that way, as well as on the ridge above the west end of Catalina, that 125 to 172 zone. And over the years, guys, I've had some spectacular late season marlin fishing up that way. And by this time of year, you're pretty much fishing all by yourself. No boats in sight. It could be fun stuff.
That's cool.
At Catalina proper, it's winding down. Some of that big yellow is still around, not showing or biting like they've been for months over there. But there's definitely still going to be some around. And so we're getting a little deeper into the fall season. You know, there's been some hints of squid around. It's actually starting to check out there, middle back, probably the best area to keep an eye on there, Salta Verde to Ben Weston. And I have to imagine if the guy was to make a little bit of a tank of squid, it might make a world of difference in terms of catching that yellowtail over there. You might even find a sea bass or two hanging around the bait. At San Clemente Island, good schools yellowtail around, scattered from Lost Point up the back there, China Point proper, and then up the front. I was over there the other day. We're finishing up a trip and threw a sardine, hooked what felt like a bass for a couple seconds, and all of a sudden felt like a yellowtail because it pulled off 100 yards in the line. I'm thinking, what the hell's going on? Anyway, long story short, I wound up catching bass, both. The bass had slid up the line and had a nice big fat yellowtail on the hook proper. So it's one of them miracle things you see once in a while when you're out there.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
That's cool,
it
Mark.
was crazy. We were scratching our heads as to how it happened. That's the only thing I could think of. You see the picture on my Facebook page there. Fun stuff, man. It just keeps it all interesting. But that Navy over there, they got that island pretty two-blocked here this weekend. It makes it tough to fish. They threw us out of the tuna zone here last weekend too, so they're making it a little challenging right now. There's still quite a bit of fish around offshore. Good signal of that yellowtail out there on the Tanner Bank. Big scores of good, great fish out there. And a little bit of bluefin splashing around there, but they're not biting all that much. The big bluefin zone below Clemente there, the 81, 86 out toward that 381, still some big bluefin in that zone. Few flatfall, few sinker rigs fish, few yummy flyer fish. Guys, leave that light tackle home, dude. There's like 300-pounders swimming around out there. Come on. Some guy on his sport boat hooked a giant on a spinning rod with 40 pound the other day. Didn't end well, obviously.
Nope.
And then a little closer to home for you guys down here in San Diego, like you guys were just talking about that bluefin at the Coronados. What a fantastic opportunity. That beautiful, great fish right there in your backyard. Just make sure you guys have got your paperwork figured out. But one of the long-range weather forecasts I was looking at just before we got on the air here, they're starting to show some hints of rain and wind for next weekend. So you guys think about going fishing. You know, it's getting toward that time when the weather's changing and the fish really get moving. And now's the time to go, guys.
Couldn't agree more. What a great report, Mark. It is October 14th, and the fish are still there and biting. And, man, if you haven't gone to get a big one yet, what are you waiting for? Make it happen.
Yeah, what was the best one this week? It was only $2.93 or something like that.
Incredible stuff going on, Mark. If so much great information going on out there, so many different places to go. And I always say this, that services like fishdope.com, Fishdope certainly the best as far as information on the water. It has weather, it has all the great fishing info. But this is when it's the most important to have it, because there's not that network of people fishing. There's not hundreds of boats going every day where the information flows so well. This is the time where you need, you don't have that big network of people, and having Fish Dope will get you directed. They take great information from guys just like yourself. And I know if you want to get a new membership to fishdope.com, you could save $20 by punching in the code Hookup Now at checkout. Hookup Now, all lowercase, no space, saves you $20. And Mark, again, great report, great fishing. If somebody wants to continue on with all the great stuff that you got going on at Pacific Edge, get the best bait tank in the world, how do we find you and what do we do?
Ricky, we're in Huntington Beach. We're on a corner of Bolsa Chica and Edinger by the big Chevron station there. Phone number is area code 714-840-4262. The website, PacificEdgeTackle.com. And you know that Steve Lasley guy and Anthony Shea in that fleet of boats? We've got, I think, his 7th bow tank for one of the fleet that we're getting ready to deliver with some really cool stuff on it. You want to see that, stop on by, guys.
I think there says a lot when you're working on an unlimited budget what bait tank they choose. It's the best in the business, and that's Pacific Edge. Mark, great job. Appreciate that very much, and certainly look forward to hearing another great report next week.
Okay, you got it, buddy. Take care. We'll see you guys.
Appreciate it, Mark.
Buddy.
Thanks a lot for that. Now let's head on down to San Diego, over to Seaforth Sport Fishing, and talk to our buddy Marcos. Marcos, could this pace of great fishing possibly continue?
We can keep asking that every week, and so far the answer has been yes.
That's awesome.
And it's like I said, it hasn't been unusual for this October fishing, but this is some really good fishing this year. The half days, lots of bonito on there on the new Seaforth trips. Bonito, a little bit of yellowtail. And those bonito, there's definitely some big ones in there. I know they said they're having fish in the double digits there. And
wow.
10-pound bonito would probably be a pretty fun fight on, 12-pound spinning rod or something like that. I'm sure there's a few of those out there. Lots of fishing there on those half days. The 3-quarter-day trip, seeing a lot of yellowfin, a little bit of dorado, some skipjack in the mix. Overnight's very similar fishing. The Aztec is running some day and a half, going looking for some of those big bluefin. A little tougher trip on their last one. They only caught one, about 100 pounds, so decent-sized fish in there. But lots of options. Check the website, seaforthlanding.com. Our half days, 3-quarter days, 1 days, day and a half, lots of options up there. You can book your reservations online. Always give us a call at the office, 619-224-3383. Or that option to come down, have a Rock Hudrick Rex burrito, visit the tackle shop, say hi, and book a trip.
Couldn't agree with you more, Marcos. Always great stuff going on at Seaforth. Fantastic boats, free parking, and really, really good fishing right now. Appreciate a great report, and as always, man, we'll look forward to talking to you next week.
I'll talk to you then, guys.
All right, Marcos, thanks a lot for that. That's going to temporarily wrap up our Catch Report today. Again, sponsored by Dana Landing on Mission Bay, your one-stop shop for everything that you need to go fishing. They have a complete saltwater tackle shop, a full deli, Mexican and California licenses. They offer trips and six-pack charters, And when it comes to freshwater tackle, check out East County Bait and Tackle, full of all of the great freshwater tackle and live bait that you need for a great day at the lake. Dana Landing is right across from SeaWorld. They're next to the Dana Lawn Tramp in Mission Bay and East County Bait and Tackle. That's at the end of the 67 freeway at Maple View and Lakeside. Check DanaLanding.com for more info. Phones are packed. We're going to jump into them. The only line open, 877-792-1090. Let's talk to Len. Called us from Temecula this morning. Good morning, Len. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Hi, guys. Thanks for taking my call.
Yeah, Len, good morning.
Hey, listen, I got a question. A fellow from my church asked me to go fishing with him every once in a while down in San Diego, and we've tried both the Mission Bay and the San Diego Bay, and it's a night and day difference. We do pretty bad in Mission Bay, but pretty good over in San Diego Bay. What's the reason for that?
Mission Bay has always been for me a really tough place to. I think the numbers in Mission Bay are a lot less than San Diego Bay. I don't know exactly why Mission Bay doesn't bite like San Diego Bay does, but absolutely it is night and day.
And I would say that there's things too, Len, that you'd want to do. Al was talking about tides and how important tidal flow is and things like that, and Mission Bay, same deal. How important it is for having tidal movement. And the other thing, too, that Mission Bay seems to, at times, be is a place where it can be a lot more important to scale down tackle size, too. Lighter lines, smaller baits, smaller lead heads, things like that. I mean, why one bites better than others at times. And, there's always waves. I mean, there's times when Mission Bay bites great. That being said, I'm with you. I mean, I suffer from the same thing. I tend to have better fishing in San Diego Bay than I do in Mission, but that's because I don't spend as much time in Mission either.
Mm-hmm. It seemed like a really, you get back into Mission Bay and you're all by yourself and it's calm and there's no boats, no nothing, and there's just, we don't get the fishing and we're in San Diego Bay and it's chaos city and the fisher won't leave you alone.
I'll tell you the very first thing that I would do if I wanted good Mission Bay fishing is I would go into Dana Landing and I would talk to those guys back there, the real fishy guys at Dana Landing, Bubba and Johnny, and those guys that work in the tackle store at Dana Landing. That's their home base. Those guys are really good. Not only do those guys fish a ton, but they get the word from, they have those killer base gifts that are super inexpensive to rent there. So they're getting the info from those guys fishing every day. They sell all the great MC swim baits and all the different, gulps and plastics that are right for in there. And, I mean, the best thing you can do is just dope yourself up with the best local knowledge. And that, for Mission Bay, as far as I'm concerned, that's those guys. I would go to Dana, get yourself hooked up, because, it is a completely different body of water, so you got to treat it different. You're not fishing the same baits, and that could be part of the thing, too. You rig yourself up the way that you typically fish in San Diego, which is it's deeper, it's bigger water, it's different fish, and Mission Bay is more shallow, and, they fish different, so... I mean, I would say go in there, get yourself completely dialed in the best way that you could for that local zone. Have those guys help you pick a good tide and a good flow, and I'll bet your results will change drastically.
We'll give that a try because it's so much easier to get in and out of there for us, and also with the ramp situation down south. It's a shame that Mission Bay wasn't better. We'd be going quite a bit more, I'm sure. Yeah, but I'll give that a try. Thank you.
What do you got, Al?
As far as Mission Bay, they're biting in there. You just got to figure it out. There's fish in there. Maybe the population is not nowhere near San Diego Bay, and it's not channeled like San Diego Bay is, where there's a lot of deep access. But I guarantee you, if you do your homework and stuff, you can get on them. I'm positive of that.
And Len, you bring up some great points with the access. Mission Bay has lots of great places to launch a boat ramp and to launch a boat. The best of which, no question, being Dana Landing. It's a big launch ramp that's easy to use, and you've got Dana Market right there. I mean, it's the easiest way a guy can fish. There's a killer tackle store, deli and food and everything you need right there for you. So I just think that the local info is the best deal, and those guys will get you dialed in.
And a ramp big enough for those who can't back up.
Even better. No. Len, appreciate the phone call very much, buddy. Good luck the next time you hit up Mission.
See you guys.
Thanks, man. Appreciate that very much. Next up, let's talk to Hills. He's calling us from Ventura this morning. What's up, Hills? Welcome to the show.
Hey, good morning, Rick and Captain Al.
How you doing, Hills? Great.
Hey, I was listening to Captain Al talking about trying to keep one hanging on, talking about yellowfin, trying to get him around the boat. does Captain Al ever take one of the troll rod fish and like stick it in the rod holder? Or is that a bad idea? Because kind of tangle everything up. Is that a way to keep them around the boat?
You can. I mean, you could do whatever you want to do as long as you manage it. You know, if you have enough people to manage the situation, then absolutely, yeah, you definitely want to keep one in the boat. I had a lady on board the other day, and she was wanting me to gaff her fish, and I said, no, leave that thing in there for a minute, and then hook another one, then I gaff it, you know. But, yeah, I mean, on the troll, it happens so fast that anytime you can leave a fish right after a jig stop in the water, it's a plus, always.
Okay.
Yeah, just for a little bit of time.
Something of that commotion. Maybe
correct.
Give us a rundown what the Chinese fire drill is always like. When you're trolling, you got four lines going off and the clicker goes off. What's your process like? Is the first thing that you do clear the other lines? Is the first thing to throw some bait? Is the first thing to do nothing and hope you get another one? What's the process like when you go from trolling to hooking one?
Before that happens, I try to let everybody know what's going to happen because we're just hanging out, and then all of a sudden it's complete fire drill, as
sure.
you know, Rick. So what I try to do is go straight to the bait tank and braille some bait.
Okay. First things first, get bait in the water.
First things first, get some bait right on the back of the boat. And then get everything under control. And the next thing is, actually before everything's under control, I try to get a bait rod out there right in the middle of the mayhem and try to, be successful to hook
Keep
one,
going.
Yeah, and then worry about getting everything under control after that,
Okay.
Just bounce the jig fish in, and especially with the smaller yellowfin. And get them going on bait. Once you hook that one bait fish, then you have a great opportunity to really put the wood to them,
That's cool.
But until you hook one, it can be a little mayhem.
I think that's a very important key, though, that you said. First things first, get bait in the water. Get that school activated. Get them, you did something right enough to get a jig strike. Now you want to pour some bait over the top of them. Get the other fish in that school realizing that this is a source of food, and, we need to get it before the guy next to us does.
Yeah, and as that bait's going in, or immediately after, hooks need to be in one of those baits, too, so you can hang one.
There you go.
Absolutely.
Hills, that answer your question for you?
Yeah, man, that sounds exciting. It
is.
Yeah, baby.
That's awesome. Hills, appreciate the phone call very much, bro. Thanks a lot for that. We'll look forward to talking to you again real soon. How about next up, we talk to John. He's called us from Mira Mesa. Hi, John. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Yeah, hey, good morning, guys. I tuned in a little late, so I don't know if you've already kind of touched on it, but, I'm looking forward to hopefully fishing with you with my son. You got a great reputation with Scott Sherman and other people touting your success and so forth. But
Thank you,
my question is about your offshore program. Do you prefer the guys leave their gear at home and use yours, or do you allow guys to bring their own gear? How does what do you prefer there?
Great question.
Yeah, that is a good question. I allow them to bring it, but I do kind of monitor what's coming on the board because it's so important to execute, when you get bit. So some guys don't want to bring their gear, but they're bringing stuff that doesn't belong on the boat, too light a line, old stuff that's not been kept up, all that kind of stuff. But a lot of guys have real expensive gear, and they have gear that they want to bring, and absolutely I let them bring it. If it takes me 10, 15 minutes to get their stuff under control, wind down a little bit of line for them, whatever it takes to get their, especially if it's a must-have rod or whatever,
Sure.
I'll take care of it for them, absolutely. But I just make sure that it's going to be able to do the job.
Plenty of rod space. If you got some good tackle that's set up right and you want to catch fish on your own gear, no problem.
Absolutely.
That's cool. All right. Were you ready, John?
Oh, yeah, that answers it. Thank you.
Right on, buddy. Appreciate the phone call very much. That, for the first time all morning, frees up our local line. If you want to get through on that local number, that's 858-457-1090. Again, 858-457-1090. And still one of those toll-free numbers open. That's 877-792-1090. Hey, join us for a fun and exciting live remote broadcast at the Konakai Resort on Shelter Island in San Diego, Saturday, October 21st. We're going to broadcast from the pool deck surrounded by the beautiful Pool and Palapa Bar. And get this, there's going to be a free breakfast, free mimosas, free Bloody Marys. All of that's going to be available as well. You're going to win some great prizes. We're giving away a pair of Maui Jim sunglasses. There are going to be room nights at the Konakai Resort, giving away spa treatments and lots more. Be sure to join us at the Konakai Resort at the end of the Shelter Island in San Diego for a fun 2-hour live remote broadcast. Just enter through the resort lobby and head straight for the pool area. Saturday, October 21st from 7 to 9. Join us again, completely free. There's no strings attached. Just come on down. Join us for free breakfast, free prizes, and lots of fun. It's going to be at the Kona Kai. That is going to be a fun morning for sure. Hey, when we come back, we got more of your phone calls coming your way, more great information. You stay tuned. You're listening to Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090.
Saturday, November 4th, it's Tackle Day at Fisherman's Landing in San Diego. Our largest sale ever. Seminars by saltwater experts, incredible deals on tackle. Over 20 tackle manufacturers like Shimano, with great products like Talica, Tranx, Trinidad A, and Terramar. Tackle Day at Fisherman's Landing, Saturday, November 4th. Check saltwatertackle.com.
Everyone likes special treatment, kind of feel like a VIP. Well, that's how our listeners are treated at Poway Valley Collision. I have personally heard of several stories of how well our friends Jim and Mary take care of their customers that we sent them. Poway Valley Collision is worth the drive from anywhere in the Southland. We know you may not need them today, but when accidents happen, it pays to go to Poway Valley Collision. And listen to this. Our listeners get a special discount that can save you hundreds of dollars on your car or truck repair. Just tell them you listen to the show and you get the deal. They work with most insurance companies, including Auto Club, MetLife, Wawanesa, and more. Just bring your car or truck to them and let Poway Valley Collision do the rest. I have had my truck repaired at Poway Valley Collision, and the job was perfect. So get your vehicle fixed right at Poway Valley Collision. Tell them you listen to Let's Talk Hookup, and they'll save you money on your repair. Poway Valley Collision, 14211 Garden Road in Poway. Check PowayValleyCollision.com.
It's big, it's comfortable, and she is beautiful. The state-of-the-art long-range sport fishing vessel, the Independence. Veteran captains Mark Paisano and Paul Strasser built this incredible 112-foot vessel with the most modern technology and luxurious comfort available. Captain Jeff Dubois has helped make the Independence a top-notch operation. Call Independence Sport Fishing at 619-226-6006 or check the availability on spring, summer, and fall trips now at IndependenceSportFishing.com. Turner's Outdoorsman, Southern California's #1 shooting, hunting, and fishing tackle retailer since 1971, is right in your neighborhood. Now 19 stores and more to come throughout Southern California. No one does it better. Turner's Outdoorsman brings you the best prices and selection, plus a knowledgeable staff that will help make your day on the water or in the field more fun. Stop by your neighborhood Turner's Outdoorsman. To find the location nearest you, check the web at turners.com and sign up for special deals and more.
For East Cape Fishing, Jen Wren is known as the best. This is Mark Rayer. Great service, top quality equipment, including all accurate reels, CalStar rods, and Sibron electronics, has put my immaculately maintained twin-engine cruisers in a class of their own. For memories of a lifetime, just bring your hat and sunglasses, and we'll provide a fishing experience that will exceed your expectations. Our calendar's filling fast, so don't miss out. For packages, 2 live webcams, a weekly fishery report, and more, check out TeamJenWren.com. We pick up at all East Cape resorts, so let's go fishing.
I got a garage full of fishing tackle, and every time I get out on the water, I realize I forgot something important. But I never forget my life jacket. I make sure my buddies wear theirs, too. Save the ones you love. A message from California State Parks Division of Boating and Waterways.
XEPRS 1090 AM, Rosarito, Baja California.
San Diego's sports leader. The home of ESPN Radio. The mighty 1090.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090. Phones are packed. Everybody's excited to talk to Al. Again, if you want to get your chance to get through, one line open on each, toll-free 877-792-1090 or 858-457-1090. Phones are packed up. We're going to jump right back into them. Dan in Los Alamitos, you're up next on Let's Talk Hookup. Hi, Dan.
Hey, Captain Al, I had a question for you. I want to get some of those spotted bay bass here this fall. Can you give up any tips on maybe how to catch them little guys during the daytime?
Yeah, it's pretty basic, If you show up down there in San Diego Bay with a spinning rod, what I have, all my spinning rods have 10-pound braid and a 15-pound top shot or 12-pound top shot. I like to run 15 in case a Hallie comes by or something.
Okay.
And a half-ounce lead head, round lead head with a 3-inch Berkeley Gulp shrimp, natural color.
Okay.
And that's what I use for all the kids and families and new people and for quantity.
How are you fishing that? Is it cast it out? Is it kind of let it sit on the bottom? Are you bouncing it back to the boat? Is it a cast and retrieve?
No, it's basically I like to keep it about no more than like 20, 30 feet from the boat. You don't want to you don't want to pick it up and cast it way out there.
Okay.
Basically, you just want to pitch it over the side, make sure it's on the bottom.
Okay.
Give it about 10, 15 feet. And because you're drifting,
sure,
and just pop it every now and then. You know, like I explained to a lot of people, if the tide's ripping, we're fishing backwards. Most people want to cast out, let it sink, and wind it back. We're pitching it out, letting it go to the bottom, bouncing it a few times, opening the bail, and bouncing it away from the boat.
Okay.
So we're fishing backwards, basically.
Sure.
Than most things, but all you need to do is drag it. You got to have a minimum of a 2.5 foot tide. If it's anything less, you can still go, but you're going to get about 50% of the bites. But first thing, check your tides, and then show up at Berkeley Gulp with some light line and good to go. In San Diego Bay, if you have braid, it's way better because your fish, most of the time I'm fishing in the deep. The Gulp works best in the deep channel water.
Okay.
Actually. Yeah, so you're fishing 40 feet deep.
And that braid allows you to get down so much easier with so much less sinker.
Yeah, and plus you can feel everything.
Sure,
so if
sure.
you take a braided rod and you take a mono rod and you pick them up, the mono's going, it has a lot of stretch compared to, it's night and day.
Now, how much mono or top shot are you putting on top of that 15-pound braid?
Just a small little 3 foot piece.
3 or 4 foot piece, okay.
Yep. And the thing is, you can change it real quick. See, all of a sudden you get in a bunch of big sandies or whatever, you can change it to 15 or 20 real quick.
Sure. There you go.
All right.
Hey, Dan, appreciate the phone call very much. You got to go get us some spotties.
All right, that sounds like fun. Thanks for the tip.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate the phone call. Eric in Vista, you're up next on Let's Talk Hookup. What's up, Eric?
What's going on, fellas?
Good morning.
Just talking fishing.
Morning. I just want to say epic. I was on the Mission Bell yesterday.
Oh, nice.
And I cannot lift my left arm, man. I'm sore.
That's awesome. Tell us about it.
Yeah, man, just, pulled up to the spot. Captain Tony said, be patient, hang on. And then all of a sudden, man, those yellowtail came popping up, and it was game on.
That is so cool.
Beautiful, beautiful.
And
one thing I want to say about that crew, man, awesome crew, real patient, real knowledgeable. And like I said, friendly guys on the boat yesterday. Everybody's talking to each other, up and down, no mess-ups.
That's so cool. And what an opportunity to be local at the Coronado Islands and have limits of yellowtail and limits of bluefin tuna. I mean, I just can't, you're in sight of Point Loma the whole time. It's just what a cool day, Eric. Congratulations. What a great trip to be on.
And the best thing at the very end, Tony says, "Oh, better luck next time, guys." And we all started busting up, man.
That's right. What were the size of your tuna, Eric?
Tuna was about 20 pound, and my biggest yellowtail was 20.
Oh, what a cool day, man. Good for you guys. Well, congratulations. That's a trip you're certainly not going to soon forget. It was really fun having Fred and Captain Steve Peterson on here in the show last week talking about how great the fishing was in the fall. And, as we heard from Fred and now from you, Eric, that is the case, man. Fall's the best time of year to be fishing here in San Diego.
Right on, guys. All right, have a good one, man.
All right, Eric, congratulations again. What a great trip to be on. Again, that does free up local line 858-457-1090. Let's jump back into the phones and talk to Charles, called us from Valley Center. What's up, Charles? Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Morning.
I heard a rumor that I have two questions. One, I heard a rumor that the bluefin might be around San Diego year round. And is there any truth to that? And then I was hoping to get like a little bit of description of your guest, what his half-day tours, bay tour fishing trips are like.
Sure.
Yeah, the bluefin question, Rick could probably help me out with that. But, some areas, depending on the water temperature, they possibly could be here pretty much all year.
I'm with you. I mean, the fish don't have a calendar or a watch. They just know conditions and food. And if you can keep the conditions right and if you can keep the feed right, they don't go anywhere. And if the conditions deteriorate and the food moves away, so does the fish. And and as conditions get good again, they can return. As we see, a real big part of it is the spread of boats to find them. And sport boat fishing is certainly a big one to it. You look down at the docks right now, and there's half of the boats going that are going in July. That means there's 50% less people covering area, finding area, watching that fish when it moves, where it moves to. So it just gets harder and harder to stay on as we get later on into the year. you know, I mean, if it's cold and blustery and rainy in the middle of December, you're probably not going to go out and find some bluefins. But as late in the year as we were catching that fish last year, and as early as we were catching it in the year this year, we had legitimate good bluefin fishing in March this year. I mean, the span of time where that fish was not around was so little that I'll bet there were probably times in those killer, great, really nice days in February that we had where there was probably bluefin to be had, but there's no coverage to be had.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's looking like we're going to have a small window of them.
That's sure looking good. Let's put it this way. We don't know what it's going to be, but I can tell you one thing. The future looks a lot brighter than it does dark on that, Charles.
Absolutely, and they are here right now.
Yeah,
right,
that. Now, what about your boats? Your other question was just about the bay trips. Was that right, Charles?
Just what to expect if I
Sure, kind of like maybe like a rundown of the trip.
So, yeah, the bay trips are the most economical. Everything is provided, like we talked about. Everything but your licensed lunch and your beer. On the bay trips, I can take a party of 6 if I have to. It's generated more towards, it's not catch and release, but it's not a trip where you're going to bring home a bunch of fish to eat.
Right.
I mean, you can keep the keepers, but it's more generated towards a good time, a lot of bites.
Yeah.
And knowledgeable fishing in San Diego Bay with light line, basically.
Yanking and cranking.
Yanking and cranking, yeah. It's instant gratification.
That's cool.
Pretty much. On a good tide, on a good morning, a lot of times I grab the first rod, I pitch it out there, I'm explaining what we're going to do with the technique.
Yeah.
And the rod goes bendo. And that happens 60% of the trips.
That's awesome.
Honestly.
That's awesome. What we've talked about it multiple times already today, but what a perfect thing to do to take a kid or a friend out fishing. Not the only, I mean, that trip's great for everybody, but what a cool thing to take a kid or somebody who's not super experienced, whoever it might be, you got somebody that you love hanging out with that hasn't done the fishing thing. What a cool way to do it. It's easy, it's inexpensive, and action is king when it comes to introducing people to fishing.
Correct, and the weather and the surrounding is very, very calm too. It's not extreme like your offshore stuff. It's not lumpy and bumpy. It's nice and flat, calm, and during the week in San Diego Bay, I had clients that he knew exactly what the population was in San Diego, which I have no idea, but I know there's a lot of people, and there was nobody on the bay. It was just us.
There you go.
Because I can't believe that it's just us and that military boat on this whole big bay.
That's so cool. Hey, again, Charles, appreciate the phone call very much. Next up, let's talk to Johnny. Johnny's calling us from Quartz Hill. Good morning, Johnny. Welcome to the show.
Yeah.
What's up, Johnny?
Hey, are you there?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Hey, how you guys doing? Thanks for taking my call.
Thanks for calling, Johnny.
Just had a question for the captain real quick.
Yeah.
Just wondering if you would do like a double header trip if we chartered the boat, go after split the day between fishing and hoop netting, or do you only do one trip, one type of species per trip?
No, that's a great question. No, I've done those in the past. We can do a double header. Not a problem. It depends a little bit on time-wise, but, yeah, it's totally doable.
I think both of you guys are nuts, man. A day of fishing takes it out of you, and a day of hooping really takes it out of you. Doing the two, that's a tough. I half obviously joking, but man, that's a long day and night there.
Yeah, well, I have other captains in another boat too, so if it comes into the time frame. Because there's time restraints on us.
Sure, so, about the amount of time you can be
as long as we take care of that,
Sure.
The thing I can do now is one guy goes offshore and the other guy's ready to go with the hoop nets on the boat. When you come in, you'll grab something to eat real quick and you go with the other captain hoop netting.
Well, what a cool idea that is. Yeah. There you go, Johnny. You're going to have to get some...
I'll be bugging you soon.
Yeah, double header, we're ready.
Yeah, get some sashimi in the morning and get some lobster tails for the barbecue in the afternoon. That doesn't sound bad to me.
Absolutely.
Right on. Johnny, appreciate the phone call very much. Again, if you want to get through, have your chance at winning that half-day trip, 858-457-1090 or 877-792-1090. How about next up, we talk to John. He's calling from Huntington Beach. What's up, John? Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Hey, good morning. I was wondering what you thought was the hardest fighting bass between the calico sand bass and the spotty, and what's your personal biggest spotty you've caught on your boat?
Good questions.
I've caught one pushing 3 pounds, in San Diego Bay. I think, it's hard to tell. A lot of I hear it day in, day out that the calicos are a lot harder fighting than the largemouth or the sandies. But it depends what kind of condition you hook that fish in. That's the way I look at it. But I think overall the calicos fight pretty darn hard. Also, saltwater fish harder than freshwater. But
no. I was talking between the saltwater fish, the calico, sand bass, and spotty. Oh, pound for pound, which one?
I don't know. You hook a big calico in the weeds, it pulls hard.
Sure.
They all fight hard, but I would say probably calico.
Doug and I always joke when we're fishing the bay tournament or the bay together, whether we're fishing in the tournament or getting ready for it, that when we hook a fish, we always you always have some sort of an idea when you're pulling on the thing, and we always joke like, well, this is either a 16-inch sand bass or it's an 11-inch spotty, one of the two, because those things pull so hard for their size. I would love to see what a 5-pound or 6-pound spotted bay bass would pull like, in comparison to a big calico bass. I'm with you. It'd be a cool one. It'd be a really cool one to get to see because, man, those things are. But they're different. It's a different type of pull. They spin a lot and they're almost more scrappy. Where a calico bass got those big shoulders and big head shakes and they diving back into the kelp. Like you say, it's a different fight. Hard to compare. But what do you? What do you think, John?
Personally, I think I've caught in sand bass that will kick your butt. I don't know what it is, but some of them don't. It's weird, but I've caught in a few here and there where I was very surprised. Like they didn't give up. I used to think spotties, but pound for pound, I'm talking about the exact same size fish.
Sure.
I don't know, but all right, cool. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you got it, John. A tough call. And Al, you brought up a really good point too. It really depends on where you catch them and what you catch them on. How light your tackle is, how close that fish is to its structure. A lot of current rip in the wrong direction, angle of line, that fish able to get back into the rock or get back into the weed or get back into the kelp. I mean, there's a lot of factors there that can really turn the afterburner on.
Yeah, I think that first 15 to 30 seconds, mainly when you catch these fish in the bay, that's the harder. That's when they really try to get, they really scrap you. I think the bigger sand bass and stuff, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, but they open their gills and try to stick to the bottom when you first hook them.
That's what I think.
And the first 15 seconds it's like, holy moly, what do I got, a 5-pounder
Yeah,
here?
totally.
And then all of a sudden they kind of give up. Yeah.
That's it. Hey, John, that's a great question. Appreciate it very much. All right, next up, Mike, calling us from Laguna Niguel. Good morning, Mike. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah. Hey, guys. I wanted to talk about, or have Al talk about introducing kids to fishing. What would be the best trip, and how's that work? And I think you mentioned something at the start of the thing that the youngest kids go free, or one goes free, or something too.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great question. I have a big passion for that. And the bay trips are very much geared towards the kids. I've had literally hundreds of kids catch their first fish with me on my boat in San Diego Bay, and it's insane. Some of them are 4 years old, and some of them are 10 or whatever. But the San Diego Bay trip, morning AM trip, is the best trip for the kids.
Okay.
Little half-day trip. Yeah, and one kid, under 13, goes for free per
so
trip.
Cool.
Yeah, so you have four kids, one of them gets to go. Basically, you get a $50 discount. And
you have life jackets, all that kind of stuff for them?
Yeah, all the safety gear, everything. We life jacket them up per the Coast Guard regulations. Actually, I even have custom wrapped kids rods. I take a regular blank and I chop them down, and I have pink and black and blue for the youngsters, and I use those for bonefish too. But they're way cool rods.
That's so cool.
I did that about 5 years ago. I had my buddy of mine make up about 10 of them.
Morning, half day. That's your ideal pick for a kid for getting the kid out and going fishing.
Correct, because there's no wind. Most time there's not much wind, and it's very easy and it's really easy fishing, and the kids can catch by themselves. Never fished before. They can catch 10, 15 fish, 20 fish by themselves on a little trip.
And you got the beauty too of fishing with Captain Al is you've got a big boat. It's comfortable. There's plenty of room for them to move around. It's not pitching and rolling back and forth. I mean, it's a big, stable, very, very easy platform to be fishing on.
Yeah, it's got high sides with padded rail around the side, so it's hard for them. And they could kind of. Depends on what personality the kids have, but they can kind of run around a little bit on there, and they're totally safe and catch fish and have a great time. And it's got little porta potty for the girls and everything on there.
That sounds perfect.
Cabin and you name it.
You ready to go, Mike?
Sounds great. Sounds good. I'm thinking about the grandkids here.
Yeah.
So, that's wonderful.
That's a great
Thank you a
call.
lot, Al.
You're welcome.
You got it, buddy.
Hopefully I see you soon. We'll put them on some fish for sure.
All right. How about next up? We talked to Pete. Pete's calling us from Chula Vista this morning. Pete's got a question I've been waiting to get shook out on the radio show. Good morning, Pete.
Good morning, guys. How you doing?
Great.
Good morning, Pete.
Hey, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about bone fishing.
Yeah.
I like to catch those bonefish on light tackle, 2-pound test, 4-pound test. And it seems like I've always done best with bloodworms and that Carolina rig, kind of down there in that shallow, sandy water by the Coronado Caves. Is that where you fish, Al? Where do you go when you want to target bonefish in the bay?
Basically in the back bay from 24th Street, Pepper Park, back. You can go out just a little bit. I've caught them as far out, maybe halfway from the bridge to Pepper Park as well, but mainly in the back bay where you're talking about. You can't go wrong back there in the flats, drifting around with a little 1/4-ounce Carolina rig, depending on what the wind's doing and the tide's doing. With the ghost shrimp, that is key.
That is such a cool fish and fishery to do. That's another thing. If there's guys, again, we talked about, how cool these types of trips are for maybe guys that aren't beginners. You're not trying to get the kids together. You and a buddy like whatever. You like calico bass fishing or you like doing all kinds of things, but, live in Orange County or L.A. where that bonefish thing isn't a thing. Go charter a day with Al to go target bonefish. You will, Pete, I know you'll speak to this. Sounds like you do it a lot. There is nothing like hooking one of those things on light gear. You hook one of those on a 2 or 4 pound trout rod, it screams off line like nothing else. It's not taking a couple of clicks of drag. They are flying.
Yeah, and
it's unbelievable.
Yeah, it is. And when you get around them, I can tell you a little secret that'll get more to your boat. They sell this little thing called the Chum Buddy.
Okay.
It's a little, I think it's a 3-gallon little chum thing, and you put all your dead anchovy and stuff in there, mix up whatever you want, whatever concoction you want, stick it in there, and if you keep some chum, tie that thing, keep it right next to your boat, keep that thing going, you can get those bonefish to your boat, basically.
Get out of here.
Yeah, no.
Really?
They school up, man, and they want to eat, and they want to. There's been times where I've caught, I think the most bonefish I've caught in like a straight stretch is like 40.
Get out of here.
Yeah, it's like mackerel.
40
they
fish day.
school up like mackerel and just bite and bite and bite and bite.
And these are legitimate bonefish.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
yes,
no doubt about it. You get the first one in the net, in your hand, whatever. There is no denying exactly what you got in your hand.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, it's all slimy. You can't get it off you.
Yeah, you need to be careful with that. It's nice to keep. I don't really try not to touch them too much, because they have a massive slime coat on them.
Yeah.
So I try to release them, be real careful with them, get them back in the water as fast as possible.
They are a bad mother, man. They are really, really strong for their size and super fun. And again, if you haven't done that, it's inexpensive. You said $450. Get two buds together, roll down to San Diego for a day and go fishing with Al and go do some bone fishing. You'll be stoked. It's a really, really fun thing, and especially again to have somebody that has the tackle and the gear and knows how to go get them. It's a very cool fish to check off your list, especially in a time of year when you can do it when maybe there's not as much other stuff going on.
Correct. Yeah, like I called Pete. He was bugging me for a while, and I called him. I go, dude, you need to get down here like ASAP. I caught 30 yesterday.
Yeah, that's cool.
And the bone fishing, they're alive and well. So it all depends on a little bit of water. In the springtime is the best, basically.
Okay. There you go, Pete. Those answer your questions?
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks so much, guys. Great talking to you.
All right, buddy. Appreciate the phone call very much. How about next up, we talked to Steve. He's calling us from San Diego this morning. Hi, Steve. Welcome to the show.
Hi, guys. Hi. I got a question for you now. I was wondering about the health of the Corvina fishery in the back bay or any part of the bay, San Diego Bay. And I was wondering if the ones that you catch are those orange mouth or are those short fin.
Great question.
That's a really good question. They look like orange mouth to me, but everyone calls them short fin too. So they look like the exact same fish that's in the Salton Sea. Without talking to a biologist with one in my hand, I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, I would love to tell you. I'd love to be more educated on it, but I'm not. Always just say, oh, we got a Corvina, that kind of thing, and I couldn't tell you what the, I mean, they have an orange mouth and they have fangs, but I know so do the short fin. So how do you say which is the?
Correct. I know I caught a 10-2 that 1 year, 3 years ago or whatever it was, and I posted it and stuff, and everyone was, oh man, the world record's only like 10-8 or something like that. But that's a good question, but they are healthy. It's kind of an untalked about fishery back there because of it just is. I don't post a lot of stuff about it. But everyone keeps it kind of on the hush hush. But there's plenty of them in the bay. There's a lots of them.
And fun fish to catch. Again, hard fighting. They'll bite lures really, really well. It's a full rad predator fish in the back of San Diego Bay.
Correct. Yeah, not only in the back, they're all the way out to the middle and stuff too. I've been out there in my Ranger on a warm summer night throwing spooks, and I think the most we caught is 12, I think, in a couple hours, before it got dewy to get out of there. But yeah, it's pretty cool.
I know a lot of the boys at Fisherman's Landing Tackle Shop on their lunch break, especially in the nighttime, have caught a lot of them off the docks in there too. I mean,
absolutely,
there's
a bunch in there.
Yeah, it's a very fun fish to fish for and a fun fish to target, and yeah, they're cool ones. But also another one of those things that are on the delicate side, so you got to be mindful of the way that you handle them when they get boat side and things like that.
Correct.
Yeah.
Absolutely, but it's pretty phenomenal when you're throwing a topwater bait of your choice out there. At low light is when you catch them the most, or in dark.
That's cool.
And you got a saltwater fish coming up and blowing up like a freshwater fish. It's amazing.
You got a favorite bait to catch them on? I mean, is it a spook? I mean, you mentioned that.
Yeah, I use a spook.
Okay.
I like to fish a white saltwater series 3-hook spook.
Okay.
You can use other smaller stuff like Sammy's and all that other stuff, but I like throwing my white spook. Yeah.
Easier to swim.
You can get a lot more distance.
Yeah, right. Cast it a long
lot
ways.
easier to swim, and they'll smash. The bigger ones just smash it.
Oh, that sounds cool. Yeah. Got me fired up, man. I want to go do that right now.
Yeah.
Steve, you got me pumped up, man. Appreciate the phone call.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Thanks, buddy.
Appreciate it.
All right, you got it. Hey, not a lot of time left. Let's try and sneak in one more. David from Chino. Good morning. Got a question for us, David?
Yes, I got a question for Captain Al there. It's a freshwater question. I got mass quantities of crawdads, and I've had no luck to catch those largemouth with them. Do you have a special way to hook them and your technique?
Oh, yeah. That brings me back a bunch of years. Back in the day, that's how I started fishing with crawdads. I only had hooks, split shots, and a couple topwater baits, and that's how it all begun. My dad taught me how to do it. But, yeah, if you have mass quantity of little green crawdads, the greenies, the red ones, just put them back and let them breed. But the little...
the red one.
Yeah, the red ones are the ones that you really don't want to use. I fished the green ones. So,
okay.
and the smaller ones, the little 2-inch ones, there's times when we need them the most, because Louisiana will ship them out here to your door overnight. But in the springtime when we need them for big fish here,
right.
Louisiana don't have the right size.
Okay.
So I got to go, back in the day we used to just go get them around here.
Sure.
But bottom line is you hook them with a little drop shot hook right between the eyeballs and the crown in the front of the crawdad on that hard shell.
Like a little beak.
That little hard shell, that little beak right there. And I haven't fished them in years, but I know all the rock piles and stuff at the lakes. I mean, they eat the heck out of those pre-spawn big time.
Sure.
So.
And having a really good sharp hook like a little gamakatsu, octopus style hook, little drop shot hook, something really sharp to help, pierce that little beak. I know certainly helps a lot when you're rigging those baits.
Yeah, and sometimes I try to fish them without any weight, It depends on how deep you're fishing, but you're fishing anywhere from 15 to 25 most of the time, on rock. So you can use a little drop shot, a little split shot on there or no weight, Just don't overpower the crawdad with the line size.
And you'd be surprised at how big of a fish will slurp up one of those little teeny 2-inch, little 2-inch crawdads.
I've caught hundreds of fish over 8 pounds on crawdads.
Yeah, on little teeny guys like that.
Back in the day, that's all we used to do.
That's cool. David, good luck, man. I hope the crawdads do you some good success this year. Good luck, man. Appreciate that very much. When we come back, it's time to find out who's winning a guided trip for 2 with Captain Al Clowers. We got more Let's Talk Hookup coming your way on the mighty 1090.
This is Pete Gray to tell you about one of my favorite places to fish in the world. It's Whalers Cove Lodge in Angoon, Alaska. For several years now, we've been hosting groups at Whalers Cove, and this is certainly one trip I do not miss. Each year, the Powers family makes great improvements to the lodge that make this great lodge even better. New rooms, new boats, new fish processing facilities, new outdoor kitchen. The list goes on and on. As for fishing, the calm waters around Whalers Cove are 100 miles from any large town, so you will enjoy wilderness adventure without the crowds. Whalers Cove Lodge has some of the best salt and freshwater fishing in Alaska, and there's no need for a bumpy boat ride for hours. You can find productive fishing for salmon, halibut, and rockfish just 10 minutes from the lodge. Here's the deal. The word is out on Whalers Cove, so you want to go? Book soon. WhalersCoveLodge.com or call 800-423-3123. WhalersCoveLodge.com for the Alaska fishing experience of a lifetime.
Have you been looking for a live bait hook that keeps live bait alive? Look no further than Japan's leading fish hook, Gamakatsu. It's the little things that make the difference, and Gamakatsu hooks drive the point home. With an absolute perfect bend and ideal barbs, your bait swims harder and longer. And when you get bit, Gamakatsu hooks bite back with a vengeance. All hooks are not the same. Go with Gamakatsu for infinite success. Gamakatsu, simply the best. Check Gamakatsu.com.
Saturday, November 4th, it's Tackle Day at Fisherman's Landing in San Diego. Our largest sale ever. Seminars by saltwater experts, incredible deals on tackle. Over 20 tackle manufacturers like Power Pro, the best choice in Spectra line. Tackle Day at Fisherman's Landing, Saturday, November 4th. Check saltwatertackle.com.
Great boats, free parking, and a fully stocked tackle shop. Just a few of the reasons Seaforth Sport Fishing is a favorite among anglers. Come aboard top charter boats like the Aztec, Cortez, Endeavor, Eclipse, Apollo, Outer Limits, Pacific Star, El Gato Dos, Alexis, Pride, Privateer, Tribute, Pacific Voyager, and the Voyager. Plus, the new Seaforth Sea Watch in San Diego offer the finest half, 3/4, and full-day trips available. Check out the full-service tackle store at Seaforth Sport Fishing. And it's all run by fishermen for fishermen. 1717 Quivira Road, just off Mission Bay Drive in Mission Bay. Book online at seaforthlanding.com. No matter the fishing conditions, count on the Seagar family of fluorocarbon leader material to help you catch more fish. Fluoro Premier has a smaller diameter with the highest break strength. Plus, it is super soft. When bites are tough, tie on Fluoro Premier. Blue Label is tough as nails with incredible abrasion resistance and impact strength. And new Pink Label is the choice for tough light conditions, giving you a little more visibility for better line control. Pick up a spool of Seagar at your favorite tackle dealer or visit Seagar.com.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090. All right, it is time. The big winner, half-day trip, fully guided, 4-2, fishing with Captain Al Clowers, is going to Gary in San Diego. Gary, congratulations. You are going to have such a good time fishing with Captain Al. And Al, I just can't begin to thank you enough. So much time. I know how busy you are. It's not easy to pull you away from running trips, and we really appreciate you coming in, spending the time, hanging out, talking fishing with us, and, man, we had a great time.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here again, Rick. We'll do it again sometime. You know, I always got to make room for you guys.
Well, you believe that definitely. For sure. We definitely will. We talked so much great fishing. One more time, give us the full rundown if somebody wants to get in on all the great trips. Offshore, while there's great tuna fishing is still happening, clearly there's some really good fishing to be had at the Coronado Islands right now. Bay fishing, hoop netting, everything you do, how do we do it?
You can go get a hold of me through my website, CaptainClowers.com. Call me directly at 619-800-3474 or shoot me an email at CaptainClowers@gmail.com.
Awesome. Well, great job, buddy. We appreciate that. Keep up the great work, great fishing. Let us know how it's biting out there, and we'll look forward to having you on the show again real soon.
Absolutely, Rick.
All right, thanks, buddy. Appreciate that. Hey, we appreciate you listening. Another great show coming in tomorrow. We got Bill Varney, the surf fishing expert. We're going to be talking all things surf fishing, how, when, where, tackle. A great time and a great show coming for you. We appreciate you listening today. Tomorrow morning, we'll catch you again, 7 to 9 a.m. Want to say a big thanks to Adam on the other side of the glass for all the great work, and we appreciate you looking. We'll look forward to hearing you tomorrow. It's Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090.